Alright, so let's take the guitar to the bench and check what we're working with. I think this comes with 9s, and we want to replace those with a heavier gauge. That's just my personal preference. And of course, what that's going to do, that's going to bring the tension on the neck forwards, and we need to adjust. No issues with this straight out of the factory. Actually, the neck relief is spot on. We'll see that this guitar has locking tuners, so that'll make life a lot easier. No quality control complaints here. It's a perfect guitar. But for my personal preference, I like to set this up with higher gauge strings and make sure intonation, neck relief, our full setup is good to go. Don't know as to why, but there's some debate about the radius. People think that this is a 9.5 radius guitar. We're going to test that out again just to verify. And let's see, that's a 12. No rocking, that's a perfect 12. Well, we're going to check out another spot. And someone on the internet said, oh, it's a compound neck, please check out the first. Well, we're going to check that right now. Let's see, that's a 12. No rocking. So confirm. This neck, 12 radius. Alright, so let's tune to pitch. After you tune to pitch, you want to stretch these strings to make sure they stay in tune if you're playing immediately, right? So they sell a string stretcher, but I just like to use my hands. Hold on tight, one side, and then pull on the other. Normally on a setup like this, I would clean the fretboard, polish the frets, and do any other inspections as needed, but this just came straight from Fender and it showed up in pristine condition. I'm just doing a string change. Today I'm going to be using Music Nomad's notch straight edge to determine if it has a back bow or not, and to make the proper adjustments to the truss rod. Remember, if you're going to do these at home, be very careful when dealing with the truss rod. Small, little bit small increments at a time. Quarter or eighth of a turn is the right amount, and then you check. There's a little bit of light coming in under the frets, which means that our neck is doing this. I want to straighten it out just a little bit more, and this is due to the augmentation in string gauge. So let's do that proper adjustment. Just for good measure, I'm going to do it in the playing position. You'd be surprised of the push that something has when tuning, when checking intonation, doing something with the straight edge, that the pull that gravity has and could mislead you at times. All right, so using the notch straight edge here. Actually, there's not much. There's not much wiggle. There's a little bit of relief set around here, 7th and 9th fret, but it's okay. It's not huge, but for proper measure, I'm going to just slightly. Today I'm going to be using my Keep It Simple kit from Music Nomad. Remember kids, righty tighty, lefty loosey. What you want to do at times also is you want to come in and you want to loosen a little bit, loosen it, and then make your adjustment. I had previously done this, so loosen it, and then tighten it. An eighth of a turn is all it's needed. After you have retuned to pitch, what we're going to check now is the action. And this is all personal preference, but there are a couple of measurements that you could follow as guidelines. Today we're going to use Music Nomad's string action gauge and a capo. Their Keep It Simple kit has, you could also use, if you don't have a capo, just a pick. They give you one and then you insert it to put pressure down on the 6th string. So here we go. Capo on 1st fret. And remember, we're going to do these measurements in the playing position, so it means this way. There are a couple suggestions that are made on the string action gauge. I personally like to follow the medium high, or depending on the playability. Spot on 264, so at the 12th fret. 175. I'm happy. In this guitar's case, if we need to make any adjustments, it would be on the bridge. It's a two pneumatic style bridge, so only two sides to go up or down, not by saddle. So, but today we're not going to be making any adjustments. Our final step is intonation. So we're going to set our tuner to chromatic. A lot of experts like to use these strobe tuners. I'm going to use my trusty TO2 today. Retune to pitch in the playing position. What we're going to do is at the 12th fret, we're going to play it open string and then make sure that the note, while fretted, is not sharp or flat. If that's the case, what we're going to do is we're going to adjust the saddles either back or forth to compensate and make sure that we're getting the proper measurement. So far, all the strings are spot on, straight from Fender. So far, all the strings are spot on. Let's test out our trusty G string. Octaves also help out at times. It's just a tad. Let's make that adjustment. Now, unlike the truss rod, the adjustments that you're going to make here going either back or forth are a little bit more substantial. Make sure you do 3 or 4 turns at a time to make sure you're seeing that saddle move either back and forth to compensate. Depending on what string you're going to make your adjustment on, you might be able to access it with your driver with no problem. But if need to be, you can loosen the string, set it aside, make your adjustment, tune to pitch, and Bob's your uncle. Spot on. And that, ladies and germs, does it for the setup, the quick setup of the 2024 Tom DeLonge Signature Starcaster. These things are a beauty. Please enjoy them. Stop worrying about quality control unless there's a big hole other than your F-holes in your body. Please enjoy them. Play your guitar and have fun. All right, see you on the next one.